first video today, we looked at what adding or subtracting a number outside the absolute value did to that function. In this video, we're going to look at what adding or subtracting a number inside the absolute value does to the function. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go back to y equals, and we're going to clear out the last two. But we still have that parent function there to compare. So the first one, we're going to investigate what happens when we take that absolute value. Again, to call back the absolute value, we go to math, right arrow to number, and it's the first choice, absolute value. So what we're going to do is we're going to put x plus 5 inside the absolute value. So we're going to investigate what does that do? What does that plus 5 do inside that absolute value? So when we hit graph, we'll still be on the standard window. When we hit graph, there's the first parent function, and then the second one. Now, what you will notice is that this is kind of counterintuitive to what you would think. You would think adding 5 to x would move it to the right, but what actually happens is adding a number inside to the x actually moves it to the left. And in this case, it moved it to the left 5 units. And it just moved it straight left. So then, let's see what subtracting a number does. So, we're going to go to math, right arrow to number first, and now inside the absolute value we're going to put x minus 5. And some of you may realize, well, adding 5 moved it to the left. I'm guessing subtracting 5 should move it to the right. So if I hit graph, here comes that third graph, x minus 5, and that takes the blue graph. The blue graph is the parent function, and moving it 5 units to the right. So numbers inside, that's a little bit counterintuitive to what you would think. If we add a number inside to the x, that's going to move it to the left. If we subtract a number inside with the x, that's actually going to move it to the right. So, with these graphs, this first one, now remember that vertex of the parent function is at the point 0, 0. So when we add 3 inside with that x, we're going to move to the left 3 units. So there's the new vertex. And so that's the point -3, 0. Still going to open up. And now we have a different y-intercept to find. Okay? And to find that y-intercept again, remember to find an x-intercept, you plug 0 in for y. To find the y-intercept, you plug 0 in for x. So in this case, plugging 0 in for x, we've got the absolute value of 0 plus 3, and then we just do the arithmetic. 0 plus 3 is 3. The absolute value of that is 3. So the y-intercept is the point 0, 3. So then the domain goes from left to right, negative infinity to infinity. And the range goes from bottom to top. And the y-coordinate on the bottom is 0. And again, since it includes 0, we put a bracket around the 0. And it goes from the bottom to the top, which is positive infinity. And then D when we're subtracting 2 inside, that's going to move it to the right. Again, it's a kind of opposite of what we would think. So it's going to take this vertex that's ordinarily at the origin, move it to the right 2 places. So that's the point 2, 0, and it's still going to open up. And then we have a y-intercept to find. Again, to find the y-intercept, you plug 0 in for x. So it's the absolute value of 0 minus 2. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. The absolute value of that is 2. So there is the y-intercept. And again, domain left to right is negative infinity to infinity. The range is bottom. And again, it's the y-coordinate at the bottom. 0 to the top, which is infinity. And that is what adding or subtracting numbers inside does. So, just a quick overview. If you add or subtract a number outside the absolute value, you're moving it up and down. If you're adding or subtracting a number inside with the x, you're moving it left or right. In the next video, we're going to combine these 2 translations. We're going to move it left and right, and also up and down. So our vertex is going to move out in the middle here somewhere. So we'll take a look at that next.